What's up, Digidestins? This is Kyle D, better known as RideMyAvatar, and today we have just decks to cover for the rest of the BT20, basically, our 2.5 set. So without further ado, let's dive in the video and talk about it. So the long-awaited Invisimon deck. So if you don't know what Invisimon does, it kind of has this unique ability. So it plays very differently than most decks, but on play, when Digivolve, Digivolve, two of one of your opponent's Digimon, flip one of your opponent's top face down security cards face up, then delete one of their Digimon with one or fewer Digievolution cards. Source strip, Digievolution, the whole 9 yards, right? But just kidding. But when you have it, when your Digimon checks a face up security card, you may place this Digimon at the top of your stack face up as the bottom security card. So basically, this thing comes in for its on play shenanigans, and basically gets to do a Digievolution and just work from there. But with the deck, you kind of want to use Altia. Altia here is your mem setter, but being able to tuck, your cyborg and machines underneath them does matter, since we are playing a lot of cyborg traded. We can kind of just stack and have Doraemon gain us some draw tempo, which we want to do. The whole line has some unique plays, but you kind of just have to be able to realize where you're picking your battles, right? You have Oblivionmon, kind of with Shadow Seraphimon Ace, Medieval Gallant, and then we do have none other than our Magnamon X-Antibody, just because he is a blocker. And there are some other ways. Let me double check. I might be mistaken. Let's see if there is an armor form. If there's an armor form black Digimon, we might play that. I think that is maybe why I'm overlooked it, was I didn't check for armor form, right? If there is an armor form black Digimon, we might actually play that in the slot instead. So just taking a look here, I know there was one card in this list that was put in there. Let's see. Are you armor form? No. Oh yeah, it is armor form. That's why you're played. So yeah, Male Beelzemon is strictly for the combination with Magna X, so you do have an armor form being able to trigger your effects. So I kind of see where we're going. Using the probably strongest top end, just in case when you Digivolve and shenanigans, probably is great. And Medieval Gallant definitely carries a lot of decks to their wins. Now, taking a look though, we do have Black Alphamon. If you don't know Black Base, this is basically focusing on OTKing and using like your Alphamon Oryukens and just comboing with the great stuff that we've had in the past. Use Kosuke with Dorumon, and you lead into having just basically OTK potential that your opponent has to deal with, right? And with the Oryukumon Ace, it just adds another layer that your opponent just needs to deal with, right? So at the end of the day, the deck just basically evolved from its old style of play to finally just being a new style top end with the new Alphamons, Oryukens, and Oryukumon Ace. Oryuken mode Ace. It's just really powerful. Now, we do have Justimon X comboing with Marvin Jackson and Rio. The new Rio, basically, when your devices are placed from your hand into the battle area, draw a card, and then by spending the Tamer trashing 4 option cards with device in its traits in your battle area, you may play one Cyberdramon from your hand or trash without paying its cost. So it's just kind of cute. You kind of just combo in your Cyberdramons, and then boom, you're all set. The devices are strictly here for the Justimon shenanigans with Justimon Ace, and Justimon X-Antibody kind of copies all the abilities of your Justimons. Now, we do have this pawn deck. This is something just for the casual setting that I found just scrolling on Twitter one day. It's a puppet deck. It's basically focusing on the combination of the pawn chest that you use, Mika and Megamine, so you get to draw and gain a memory. Ariza is just basically, you may when any of your token or puppet Digimon are deleted by spending the Tamer, you may play a level 3 Digimon card with puppet in traits from your hand without paying its cost. Then you do have Ariza, the new one, so when an effect plays any of your tokens or puppet traded by spending the Tamer, one of your Digimon gains Rush, which you're just comboing with the pawns because they do have the ability to kind of play. On deletion, if it's your opponent's turn, you get to play a level 3. This one gets to, if it's your turn, play a level 3 or lower Chessmon. Just a combination of great stuff, right? And if you have 8 or more Digimon with Chessmon in its name in your trash, add the maximum 2. And then we do have, like with Genkumon, being able to hard play Genkus for a little bit of reduced cost, just leads into that sweet spot, right? I think we have some great potential with this, and it's definitely great for the casual level, right? I don't expect this topping any major events. Now, we do have the all-awaited and cumbersome Necromon. Necromon introduces a new keyword called execute. At the end of your turn, the Digimon may attack, and at the end of that attack, delete this Digimon. Your opponent unsuspended Digimon can also attack. Your opponent's unsuspended Digimon can also be attacked with this effect. So Necromon's just applying pressure on play. When Digivolving, delete one of your opponent's Digimon with the lowest level. And then you play, on deletion, play a level 5 Ghost traded from your trash without paying its cost. And it kind of just trickles in for your Phantoms and, you know, Phantomon being able to do the same thing. It all just adds into this really hodgepodge mesh that you can definitely win with. Necromon has some potential, and I really hope in the future we kind of get some more support, because again, being an exclusive Evo line, it sometimes really makes the difference, right? Then we do have purple hybrid kind of version that you're kind of just milling out your pieces and you're just going to town from there. You know, you're not using Phantomon for anything special. He's just another execute, kind of just gets deleted, being able to apply pressure that way. But you know, you have Necromon as your top end, and you just take advantage of all the good shenanigans this deck has to offer, right? Because you can mill out and then get the Necro on board, and then boom, your opponent has to answer this, right? So it just leads into this weird style play that your opponent's just never always 100% ready for. And again, this is probably just a starting base list. You can definitely evolve it and build it how you truly feel about it, but I think this is a good starting point. Now, we do have HeavyMetaldramon. HeavyMetaldramon didn't have really a deck going for it until now. With the new HeavyMetaldramon Ace and the new line, it definitely gave the deck its cohesive strategy. You know, this thing is an ace here that just says trash the top card of your deck until you have 4 left of your hand. Trash your hand. Then play 1 8,000 DP or lower Digimon from your trash. For each effect, trash remove 2,000 from the maximum DP level. So it's going to keep your hand small, but all turns, all your Dark Dragon or Evil Dragon traded gains Rush and Blocker. You know, HeavyMetaldramon's just going to be able to trash 2 cards, then delete one of your opponent's Digimon with as much DP as this Digimon, and then your turn, play 1 Evil Dark Dragon or Evil Dragon traded a play cost 8 or less from trash without paying its cost. For each card in your hand, remove 1 from this play cost. So if you have 1 card, you're gonna be able to play the ace, and it just creates this really powerful play. I love that one of its removal spells is Black Sabbath. You know, music, we really love this. But you know, if you have 4 or fewer cards in hand, by paying 6, return this card to the bottom of your deck, delete one of your opponent's unsuspended Digimon. Really kind of cool to have a good secondary shot removal with no real conditions, as long as it's just 4 or fewer. But trash 1 card in your hand, then delete one of your opponent's level 4 or lower. So it just adds up, right? I think the deck has a lot going for it, and definitely a lot of tinkering for. Do I expect this to hit top tiers? Probably not. Now, we do have Beelzemon getting some support. Beelzemon definitely got something in BT19. Trash the top cards deck. This Digimon gains blocker until the intent of opponent's turn, and then all turns when effect trashes from your deck, delete one of your opponent's level 5 or lowers. Just really great effects. You know, the new Ayamako is, if you have 20 or more cards in trash, suspend this tamer. One of your Itmons may Digivolve into Beelzemon from hand or trash for Digi-Evolution cost of 4, ignoring Digi-Evolution requirements, and just all good stuff across the board. And especially because we have Beelzemon, Blast Mode Ace, delete one of your opponent's Digimon level 6 or lower. If you have 10 or more cards, just delete one of theirs instead. Just making sure that you can delete all targets as long as you're at 10 or more cards in trash. Then by returning 10 non-Digi Egg cards from your trash to the top of your deck, trash your opponent's top security stack. So it's kind of cool that Blast Mode kind of semi-supports what you're trying to do anyway and helps prevent you from being decked out. So that's really solid. I think, you know, Blast Mode Ace might be really solid. Now, again, let's take a look. We have Takamazuchi. Takamazuchi definitely gained a new card in BT20s. Kazuchimon. Spend one of your opponent's Digimon or Tamers, then one of their Digimon Tamers can't unsuspend until the end of their turn. And then all turns when a Tamer cards are placed in this Digimon's Digivolution card, activate its when Digivolve effect, and then one of your Digimon may attack your opponent's Digimon. Kind of cool that it's really solid of a list too, that you didn't really gain much in tempo. You got a BT20 that's going to help you search for SOC trait and an IAG, so that's kind of pretty solid. You know, you got Code Cracker Fang and Hacker Judge being able to Mind Link, giving Alliance Piercing and Barrier. Plus the new Blast Ace is an option as well. Two of your opponent's Digimon gets minus 1000 DP for the turn, and then one of their Tamers, if it is this Digimon's Digivolution, delete one of your opponent's 10,000 DP or lowers. And then by trashing the top security stack, activate this Digimon's when Digivolving effect. Kind of really solid for control, as we kind of just come to know and love, right? Now we do have none other than our good friend Yggdrasil. Omnimon definitely got a facelift with the new Omnimon X-Antibody, just having a raid, piercer, and blocker, and being able end of your turn give something rush and an attack without suspending. Just really solid Omnimon X-Antibody, right? And then if you take a look at, you know, the new Omekimon from BT20 is another option that as well, just because, you know, you may place this Digimon on deletion, you may place this underneath, but opponent's turn, when your security stack is removed from by spending this Tamer, you get to play Omekimon. Basically, he gets to warp into Omnimon X, which is what you want to do anyway on your opponent's turn, because Yggdrasil prevents you from digivolving on your turn, which again, really solid. And then you have the last Guardian, that's basically reveal you look for Cool Boy and roll nitrated Digimon or X-Antibody, add them to hand, return the rest of the bottom deck, then places the barrier, and then when any of your Digimon with Omnimon in its name would leave the barrier, delay one of your Digimon doesn't leave. So pretty solid. Then you also have Cool Boy being Cool Boy. So this all adds up and eventually leads into a cohesive strategy that your opponent has to answer. And then finally, the last deck we're going to talk about is Mother D Reaper. I do have Singularity of Chaos because I think this works. You don't need an Excel, but then you get to place this card as the bottom Digivolution card. Just another way of ticking up the clock. And because you're not a Chaosmon, you're not going to be deleting yourself, right? You have Mother D Reaper being a big girl, and just having the X-Antibody and Singularity of Chaos underneath it just speeds it up a lot quicker. We saw this happen when we had BT 19, well, what, BT 12? No, BT 9 into 10 just had Mother running around and using X-Antibody to kind of just speed her up. So why not take Singularity of Chaos, which is a 2-cost option, and just take in some advantage that way. If it doesn't work that way, let me know. But again, very solid, especially when we have ADR1 Jerry just basically becoming a way of protecting your Mother D Reaper from attacks. So that's really important because those raids can really ruin your day. So with Jerry coming in, minusing the attack power, just definitely helps out, right? But all in all, guys, that is every new deck that we're going to be seeing in BT20, well, release special booster 2.5. What do you guys think? Are you excited? Let me know down in the comments. Hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, stay safe, stay healthy, and I'll catch you next one. Peace.